Picture two people, same age, 23, same general take-home, same kind of apartment, same streaming subscriptions, same type of job, same low-grade anxiety about whether they're doing enough with their lives. From the outside, these two lives look almost identical. They'd probably get along at a dinner party. But one of them is building a system, and one of them is building a different kind of system. And here is the only thing that will ever matter about this story. Systems compound. Both kinds. You graduate. You get your first real job. The first full paycheck lands in your account, and it's actual money, more consistent, more reliable than anything before it. And the first thing most people do is feel the relief of it, which makes sense. That's what money is for. But the question nobody asks at 23 is, where does the first 10% go? Not the leftover 10%. The last scraps after rent, food, the weekend, the thing you needed and the thing you convinced yourself you needed. The first 10%. Before the impulses, before the convenience, before the Friday that always costs more than you planned. One person answers that question early. They give the first slice of every paycheck a destination before spending begins. The other person doesn't answer it at all, not yet. They plan to figure it out once they're settled. At 23, neither decision feels life-altering. Both lives still look basically the same. That's the danger. The split is invisible when it starts. Here's what the difference actually looks like in practice in year one. You are bringing home somewhere around $2,100 a month after taxes. Not wealthy, enough to work with. In one version of your life, call it the light system, you set up an automatic transfer the week you start. A fixed percentage moves out before you see it. Part to a starter emergency fund, part to a retirement account. You take the full employer match. That match is part of your compensation package. Not taking it is mathematically the same as refusing part of your salary. You live on what remains. The apartment is decent, but not impressive. The car is used and reliable. The social life is real. Dinners, weekends, the things that matter. You're not performing deprivation. You just routed the money before the spending could claim it. In the other version, the heavy system, you rent a nicer apartment than you need yet. It feels earned. The monthly rent is $250 more than the alternative would have been. You finance a car, not outrageous, a reasonable car, but with a monthly payment around $340 for 5 years, plus the insurance bump that comes with it. You tell yourself you'll start saving next month, once you're settled. Next month comes, you are still settling. By the end of year one person has somewhere between $2,500 and $3,500 in combined savings and investments. Nothing dramatic, but automated, working quietly. The other person has about $400 in savings, a car loan they're 18 months into, and a few $100s of credit card debt from the month the car made a noise and a separate bill arrived the same week. The gap is not a grand mistake. It is roughly $200 a month redirected. It doesn't feel like the shape of the rest of your life. It is exactly the shape of the rest of your life. Year 2 or 3, you get a raise, maybe $3,000 more per year, maybe $4,500. This moment matters more than almost any other in your 20s, not because of the raise itself, but because of what the system does with it. In the light system, the raise arrives and the automatic transfer gets adjusted first. The contribution rate goes up. The rest flows into normal life, which grows a little because it should. But the investment grows faster than the lifestyle. The raise adds to the engine before it adds to the overhead. In the heavy system, the raise arrives and it feels like relief. And after months of feeling stretched, relief feels like permission. The apartment upgrade is now affordable. The nicer grocery store is now fine. The weekend becomes a little more generous. Neither of these feels irresponsible. The upgraded apartment has real benefits. The nicer food is real enjoyment. But here is what lifestyle inflation quietly does. It is very easy to expand and very difficult to contract. The system that got heavier at the first raise gets heavier again at the next one, and the one after that. Each raise that goes entirely into lifestyle raises the floor of what you need every month just to stay in place. The income grows, but so do the fixed costs. The margin never widens. Meanwhile, in the light system, the raise that went to investment at year 3 is now compounding inside an account that compounds back. The margin begins to widen. 2 people, same raise. One bought more options, the other bought more obligations. At some point, and this is not a question of if, only when, something breaks. A car repair you couldn't see coming. A medical bill that insurance covered most of but not all. A job transition that stretched 3 weeks longer than expected. A family situation that required a flight and a week away. These things happen. They happen to everyone. The system is what determines what happens next. When the emergency arrives in the light system, it's absorbed from the emergency fund. It hurts a little. It sets the fund back 2 or 3 months, but it ends there. No new debt, no new monthly payment, no new interest accruing at 22% on something you'd rather forget. When the emergency arrives in the heavy system, it goes on a card because there is no other option. The credit card balance climbs, the minimum payment increases. The minimum payment gets added to the fixed monthly costs that were already tight. And here is what credit card debt at 20+% annually does quietly. It charges you every single month to carry a problem you already had. The problem compounds. This is the part of the story that feels like bad luck but isn't. The emergency didn't create the fragility. The emergency revealed it. The fragility was already there, built in month by month since year 1. The person on the heavier path is not careless. They did not walk into a financial trap on purpose. They built a system that left less room, and the emergency showed them how much less. By 27 or 28, the difference is structural. It is no longer just a gap in numbers. It is a gap in how each person's money moves. One person has an investment account that has been compounding slowly, sometimes frustratingly slowly, for 5 or 6 years. There is an employer match layered in that has added thousands. There is a small emergency reserve that has never had to go to zero. There may be the beginning of a taxable brokerage account or the early stages of a real estate position. The total may be somewhere between $40,000 and $70,000 in invested or saved assets, modest. But the key detail is this: those assets earn every month without additional effort. The system is working even when you are not actively working on it. The other person has a 401k they contribute something to, maybe 2 or 3%, a car loan in its 3rd or 4th year, credit card debt that has cycled at high interest for a few years, going down and coming back up, a checking account that ends most months with less than $600 in it. The total monthly cost of debt service, minimums, the car, the interest, is somewhere between $600 and $900 a month. That money disappears every month and builds nothing. One system is getting lighter. Assets generate more assets. The other system is getting heavier. Future dollars are claimed before they arrive. This is the gap that becomes visible at 28, but started at 23. The compounding was always happening. It just took a few years to become legible. The 30s arrive. Incomes grow for both people. The careers get more serious. the salaries get more interesting. And here is where compounding leaves the spreadsheet and enters real life. Because compounding is not only about investment returns, it's about options. The person in the light system has low fixed costs, growing assets, and margin. That margin means they can take calculated risks. They can take the job with better long-term upside even if it pays the same right now. They can negotiate from a stable position. They can weather a slower month without panic. They might invest in a rental property. They might start a side income. They might take 10 weeks between jobs to find something right instead of accepting the first thing available. The person in the heavy system is constrained. Not failing, constrained. Every career decision runs through the filter of what the next paycheck needs to cover. The car payment, the card minimums, the rent that has increased every year for 7 years. These are not just line items. They are walls around future choices. The 30s should be the decade when you start to accelerate. For one person, the runway is clear. For the other, the runway is occupied by obligations, same decade, same income range, completely different relationship to risk, opportunity, and time. Then something significant happens, a real disruption, a layoff during a slow market, a health issue that takes you out for 2 months, a rent spike that forces an expensive relocation, a market correction that cuts your retirement account value by 30% in 5 months. A family member who needs support you can't say no to. These events are not hypothetical. They are a near certainty over any 15-year span. In the light system, the disruption is serious. It requires adjusting. The investment accounts take a hit or stall out. The emergency fund depletes. For a few months, the plans pause. But there is buffer. The assets, even wounded, hold. The recovery takes 6 months, maybe 12. The structural damage is limited because the structure had slack built in. In the heavy system, the same disruption triggers a cascade. Savings are thin, a few hundred to a couple thousand. Tapping the retirement account early means a 10% penalty plus ordinary income taxes on whatever comes out. The credit card goes to its limit. The recovery requires years, not months, not because the person responds poorly, but because the structure had no room for a setback. 2 people, same shock. One gets set back by months, the other gets set back by years. The shock did not cause the difference. It only made visible the difference that was always there. Age 40, 2 lives. Neither person is a caricature. Both worked hard, both paid their bills, both showed up. In the light system, you check the investment accounts on an ordinary morning, and the numbers are real. Somewhere in the range of $400,000 to $600,000 in combined retirement and brokerage accounts, depending on market conditions and how income grew over the years. If there is a rental property, it generates monthly cash flow. The invested assets are now compounding by tens of thousands of dollars per year, not from new contributions, but because of the base they've built over 18 years. You have concrete options. You have modeled what a reduced work week looks like at 44. The math holds. You can absorb a significant unexpected cost without borrowing. You can take the professional risk you've been weighing for 2 years because you have months of expenses sitting in a reserve account. You can say no to the bad situation without a financial crisis following the decision. The system you built at 23 is doing serious work. You did not have to be extraordinary to get here. You had to be consistent. In the heavy system, you are 40 and you are functional. You have a salary that's grown over the years. You have a retirement account, maybe $65,000 to $85,000, maybe a little more, depending on contribution history. You work hard, the life is real, but every month still runs on the next paycheck. The fixed costs are high enough that a month without income would be a crisis. The retirement savings are meaningful, but still a decade away from accessibility without penalties. The flexibility, the ability to choose, to pivot, to absorb a hit, to take a risk is almost non-existent. Not because of failure, not because of laziness, because the system built in the 20s was a spending system, and it compounded exactly the way systems do. The distance between these two people at 40 is enormous, not just in numbers, but in the quality of available choices. One person's future is mostly open. The other person's future is mostly already spoken for. Here's what this story is not about. It is not about deprivation. The light system person lived a real life in their 20s. They traveled, they had weekends, they spent money on things that mattered. They did not perform poverty. It is not about shame. The person in the heavy system made choices that felt reasonable almost every time. The apartment upgrade felt earned. The car payment felt manageable. The minimum payment felt temporary. None of it felt like constructing the constraints that would still be present 15 years later. This is about systems. And what systems do when you're not watching. Your 20s are not one big decision. They are a design phase. Every month, without necessarily meaning to, you are either building a system that gets lighter or a system that gets heavier. Most people do not make a deliberate choice. They respond to whatever is in front of them. The light system does 4 things, and it does them early. It routes money before spending begins, automatic transfers that leave before you have a chance to redirect them. It treats raises as fuel for assets first, not as permission for the lifestyle to expand at the same rate as the income. It builds the emergency reserve before the emergency, so that when the disruption arrives, it ends with a depleted savings account rather than a new debt. And it makes the obligations lighter over time, so that by the 30s, the options are wider than the constraints. None of these require perfection. None require extraordinary income or extraordinary discipline. They require design. A small amount of friction against the easy path, applied consistently for years. Both spending and building compound. Both kinds of systems produce a life. The question at 23 is not, do I enjoy my life now or do I wait until later? The question is, what am I building right now? And do I understand what that system looks like in 15 years? The Tuesday at 23, when you set up your first automatic transfer, that Tuesday feels like paperwork. It isn't paperwork. The system you build in the first decade of your working life is the system your 40-year-old self will either be grateful for or quietly paying off. Both paths are still available, not forever, but right now.